do this.
That means he's excited. Anyways, today we're gonna read a Bakudeku fanfiction.
I'm doing this against my will.
Shut up. Todoroki highlighted everything that we need to know to read the story.
I don't know how I got dragged into this.
Cause you're a loser, Kachan.
I'm not a loser, you are!
Okay, you don't have to be so testy just because you lost in our sing-along Disney Princess edition.
Okay, Ariel's a stupid princess!
No, she's not.
Yes,
You're
she
just
is.
a
Why
loser.
can't fit? Why?
We decided to be comfy today and lay on the floor.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up.
If you're new, you can subscribe and click the bell. That way, every single time she posts a new video, you will get notified.
Posts on Tuesdays and Fridays, and on Patreon every other Sunday there's a podcast, and she posts on there a lot, and on TikTok, and on Instagram, and whatever the else.
Anyways, today we're going to be reading Childhood Friends to Sweethearts Contest by Mary Weather.
It's on AO3, so stop asking.
Kachan, stop cursing.
Shut up! You can't tell me what to do, you damn nerd!
Read your part.
Okay. Midoriya, you should take your break now. Who's Midoriya? Are you kidding? Whatever. Asui approached Izuku, tapping his shoulder to get his attention. Who's Izuku? Oh my god. That is my name! No, you're not. You're Deku. It's not Deku! I do not get paid enough for this. I struggled to untie my apron. It's gonna be kind of boring walking around the school festival all by myself. I was already aware that Class 3B was putting together a haunted house, while Class 3A had taken the classic maid and waiter cafe approach. I was curious to see what the younger classes had in store, but no one else in my class had been scheduled for a break at the same time. I would have to explore it alone. Asui put a finger on... Is Asui the frog girl? We really need to work on this. Asui put a finger on her chin and tilted her head up questioningly. You aren't the only person on break right now, though. She pointed toward the front of the classroom. Bakugou is also going to be on break. He had to cover for Kaminari when he went to the infirmary for his stubbed toe, so we needed to change the times up a bit. Of course, that stupid dunce face. As if seeing Izuku's eyes on him, I caught his gaze. I looked a little miffed at their obvious staring. But, well, I always look miffed. What the f*** is miffed?
It means annoyed.
I'm never annoyed! Yeah. Clearly.
Kachan isn't gonna want to walk around with me. Sue. I quickly corrected myself.
Haven't you been on better terms lately?
I run my fingers through my hair. Sort of. He doesn't automatically yell at me anymore whenever I walk into his room.
He hasn't done that since first year. Asui went right for the jugular. Doesn't that mean you two haven't made any progress since then?
I felt my cheeks heat up a little bit. Yeah, I guess you're right. At most, we've been stuck as rivals. I don't know how receptive Kachan is with the idea of being friends. Asui let out a thoughtful ribbit. I have an idea. Bakugou. She waved to the front where Kachan had been tucking his apron into a small compartment underneath the teacher's podium.
I stood up and glared at the two of them before striding over. What? I thought you said I could take my break now.
Asui nodded sympathetically, but she put on a distressed look. Yeah, both you and Midoriya are allowed to go on break, but I'm a little worried.
About what? I lifted an eyebrow, still disinterested in the conversation.
It's just, the guys from Class 3B came over earlier and made fun of us for not advertising the cafe. They said their attraction would make more money than ours because they have people walking around the festival with signs.
Those little hats talk a lot of shit for being such shy characters. Katsuki easily took Asui's bait. I would never take anyone's bait.
Yeah, Kachan, you're a real genius.
Thank you. I have a half mind to go over there and declare war on the whole lot of them. I slammed an explosive fist into the palm of my hand. And if their stupid haunted house catches fire, you tell people it's because of a power surge from hanging up too many damn decorations. You got it?
I have a better idea that won't get us arrested for premeditated arson. Asui went to fetch a signboard and a marker. Her cute handwriting filled up the page, and she passed the board to Kachan. Would you and Midoriya walk around the festival and advertise for us? You can still enjoy the attractions, since it's technically your break time, but I really don't want to lose to those braggarts over in 3B.
With Deku?
I glanced over at Izuku. I don't like calling you that. I'm gonna call you Deku. I glanced over at Deku. Deku flinched at the sudden attention. My eyes squinted as I weighted my options. Would I walk the festival with Deku just so I could bring the whole of Class 3B to their knees after talking smack? I shrugged. Come on, nerd. Let's go get some customers. Yeah, I would. I gave an apprehensive look at Sue. She smiled and waved as I followed Ka-chan out of the classroom. What stall do you want to check out first? I fiddled with a loose thread at the end of my sleeve. I stopped walking and faced him. What are you talking about? We're on the clock. We have customers to get. Oh. I was disappointed to find the same excuse that was getting Ka-chan to walk the festival with me was going to be the reason they didn't get to see any of it. I thought we could just relax a little bit since Asui said it was okay to treat it like it's still our break. I rolled my eyes and kept walking. I'm not interested in any of these booths or attractions. I sighed and continued following a foot or so behind him. He shouldn't have to let himself expect anything much. Ka-chan and him weren't even remotely close enough anymore to hang out, let alone emotionally equipped enough to walk the school festival together. Izuku doubted that they would ever get to that level of camaraderie. Why did you stop walking? I seemed to notice the shadow behind me. Sudden halt. My eyes traveled lazily up to what caught Deku's eye. President Mike was standing on a wooden stage. Banners with hearts and pink swirls decorating his perch. He bellowed out something about a contest. Think you've got what it takes to prove you're the ultimate childhood friends? Sign up for our contest and we'll see how many compatible you really are. Each person from the winning pair gets a limited edition All Might action figure, straight from the Golden Age. My eyes were transfixed on the toy. Ka-chan? No f***ing way. But Ka-chan, I'm pleading, puppy dog eyes turned to ensure him in their already tearing expectation. Please, Ka-chan, I really want it, don't you? I looked up at the toy. On one hand, it was a rare collectible of high value, the likes of it which I'd never had the opportunity in my life to snatch up again. On the other hand, I'd be broadcasting the appearance of a strong relationship with the nerd next to me in front of everyone attending the festival, and I sure as hell would never allow myself to be caught dead on a stage that pink and glittery. What kind of ambiance were they going for here? You're taking a very long time to think this over. I tried to pull him from his thoughts. Can I try and persuade you with something else? I think we could really get people's attention by going up there with our sign. I nodded sagingly. That was a good point. My spidometer was already ticking back into favor of doing anything to crush 3B during the festival. You manipulative. Let's do it. Don't you dare drag me down, though. I plan on thoroughly crushing everybody that enters this contest. My smile reached the corner of my eyes. You mean it? All right, don't worry, Ka-chan. You can count on me. As they walked up the stage, I addressed President Mike. Yo, boombox neck. Where's the sign-up sheet? That's a good one. I'm going to use that in real life. President Mike's glasses slipped down his nose to inspect the newest member of his audience. Who are you registering with, Bakugou? I said nothing, just threw a thumb over my shoulder and pointed at Izuku. President Mike's glasses almost slipped off his face entirely before he caught them. Well, that's unexpected. I'm not prejudiced against it or anything, so feel free to sign up, but you know what kind of contest this is, right? Huh? Didn't you say it was a childhood friends contest? I sneered up at him. Yeah, but... So, we're childhood friends. We should be allowed to sign up. Deku felt a shiver up his spine. That was the first time I'd ever acknowledged that out loud. Of course we're childhood friends. I've been dealing with your since we were 3. President Mike shook his head and shrugged. Sure. You guys just fill out the last slot, so we're gonna get things rolling. Just fill out the forms over there on the desk before you come up to the stage, and make sure you don't share your answers with each other. They did as they were told. I finished my form first before stepping onto the stage and giving Mike the paper. Deku finished writing his response last and did the same. 6 seats and desks with whiteboards were carted onto the stage. Mike organized them so that 3 would be on the right and 3 on his left. 2 boys, both first years, sat down to the right side. Their counterparts, 2 girls, also first years, got settled in the left wing. Ka-chan took a seat on the right, which left Izuku to take the last seat on the left. The 2 girls eyed him a little
with confusion. Maybe they didn't expect to see a third year competing? President Mike turned towards the audience and began. Hey, everybody, who's ready to test the bonds of these childhood friends until they're calling each other childhood sweethearts? It's time for the childhood sweethearts? Childhood friends to sweethearts competition. President Mike gestured toward the All Might figurine he had on display. The winners of this competition will each get one of these fabulous prizes. I was suddenly very distracted again by how amazing the action figure would look on my already impressive collection. It would be the crown jewel. I was already reorganizing the figurine shelf in my head. Without further ado, let's meet our contestants. Mike walked over to the right wing and lowered a microphone so that the first boy could speak. My name is Suzuki Nakamura, and I'm here to win with the power of love. The crowd cheered, and President Mike took his microphone back. Such a passionate young man. Let's meet your other half. He brought the microphone to hover in front of the first girl. My name is I Wannabe. She blushed. Suzuki, you idiot. You're being too forward. Mike stood up straight. Uh-oh, trouble in paradise. How about contestant number 2? The man being offered the microphone looked a little bewildered by everything that was happening. My name is Aki Tanaka. The audience was quiet. President Mike prompted for more. And? Tanaka looked distressed. And that's it? I don't really know what I'm doing here. My childhood friend dragged me over and said we had to do this. Mike pulled back and laughed. Okay, well, I'm sure you'll figure out why at some point. He walked over to the left. Girl number 2? She grabbed the microphone and pulled it close. My name is Yuki Ito, and I'm going to win with the power of love. Mike ripped the microphone back. Another passionate declaration. Looks like you're going to have your hands full, Tanaka. He wandered over to Kachan, who was squinting out over the crowd, looking as bored as it gets. Contestant number 3? Katsuki Bakugou. And why are you here, Bakugou? To advertise. I answered honestly, holding up the sign and the board that Asui had given them. The crowd was quiet. President Mike took out a handkerchief and wiped his forehead. He walked over to Deku. And last but not least, your partner. Izuku Midoriya, I nervously stated to the microphone, and I'm here for that All Might figurine. Wow, you guys are not going to last very long, I can already tell, but... What do you mean? We're going to win! I thought you said you couldn't be baited, Kachan. Shut up! But the show must go on, so without further ado, contestants, pick up your whiteboards and markers. I'm going to ask you all a question. These are the same responses that you gave earlier. However, I'm going to expect your partner's answer instead. I'll be making sure you've got the right responses with the forms you handed me before walking onto the stage. Is everybody ready? Let's begin. I leaned over the desk to listen intently for the first question. Question number 1. We're going to start with an easy one. What childhood nickname does your partner call you? Is it endearing? A pet name, perhaps? Let's see what everyone wrote. First, everybody on my right. Kachan and the first year boys held up their signs. From right to left, it read Suzu, Tanaka, and Kachan. President Mike pointed at Tanaka's board. Incorrect. Contestant number 2. Your counterpart has written that she calls you Akon. Also, who is still on a last name basis with their childhood friend? Bitch, get Kachan. Be nice. Tanaka set down his board and answered, It is indecent for a girl to call a boy by their first name. I would never let my future wife do something like that. What a load of I thought you said be nice. I said be nice, Kachan, not ignore sexism. Good point. Mike looked dumbstruck. Boy, you're a dense one. He turned to the girl next to Deku, Ito, and pointed back at Tanaka. Are you sure about him? I don't think he's ever going to catch up. Moving on. He gestured to his left. What did the 3 of you put down? I lifted up my board with the girls. From left to right, they read, Apple of my eye, Ito-san, and Deku. The audience gasped and started to whisper. President Mike checked the forums. All of these are correct. I was going to comment on how sad the formality of Ito-san's nickname was, and how sickeningly lovey-dovey the first one was, but these are all ridiculous. What is wrong with you guys? He yelled at the boys sitting on the right. And really, Midoriya, Bakugou called you Deku growing up. Are you guys sure you're childhood friends? I flushed under the scrutiny I was under. Yeah. I slammed my hand down on the desk and pointed at Mike. We've been doing just fine so far in this little contest of yours, so don't complain. Get on with the next question so we can kill these fools. Yeah, whoa, okay, whatever. Moving on. Question number 2. What's your childhood friend's favorite color? My group went first this time. Holding up their signs, they read blue, orange, and red. All correct. Again, ladies and Midoriya, gentlemen, to my right, Kachan's group held up their signs. Green, pink, and red. Incorrect, contestant number 2. Your partner's favorite color is purple. Ito stood up from her desk, and Deku looked up at her nervously. She glared across the stage at Tanaka and yelled, "Akon, you idiot," and sprinted off the stage. Tanaka stood up and called for her. "Ito-san, wait!" He took chase. The audience was ecstatic at the dramatic turn of events. Mike looked a little thrown off. Well, I'm sure that'll work itself out." He inspected the remaining contestant signs again. "Midoriya and Bakugou, you two are similar wavelengths, huh?" "What's not to love about the color red?" I questioned, a challenge in my tone. "It fully embodies all the blood, fury, and energy I've put into being a hero." "That's a deep explanation I never asked for. What about you, Midoriya?" "Me?" I caught the intense red of Kachan's gaze from across the stage. I looked away quickly, flustered. "My favorite pair of shoes are red. Other than that, I have no other reason." You like my eyes? Yeah. "That was really suspicious," Mike exclaimed. Moving on to question number 3. This one's a little harder. What is your childhood friend's favorite food? Kachan's group went first, revealing apples and katsudon. Izuku felt a little giddy that Kachan seemed to know everything without seeming to break a sweat. Conversely, contestant number 1 on the right, Nakamura, was looking a little hot under the collar. Incorrect, contestant number 1. Your partner listed peanuts as her favorite food. A loud cracking noise made everyone go quiet. Watanabe had broken her whiteboard over her knee. Her demeanor seemed to change drastically. "I'm allergic to apples, you bag!" Threw the board over her shoulder and with a cold expression walked off of stage. It's my kind of woman. Nakamura sprinted after her. "Apple of my eye! Wait, come back!" Mike took out his handkerchief again and blotted the sweat from his brow. This matchmaking contest isn't going at all how it was supposed to. Just for kicks, what did you answer with, Midoriya? I held up my sign. It read, "As long as it's spicy, it doesn't matter." Mike checked the forms and sighed. He threw the papers over his shoulder. "You got that word for word." At this point, I don't know whether to be disappointed or impressed. I'm gonna give you guys one more bonus question before calling this a thing. What's your childhood friend's favorite hero? Their signs went up at the same time, revealing 2 carefully scrawled All Mights. Present Mike pinched the bridge of his nose. "I just don't get it. I set up a nice little event so couples and soon-to-be couples can have a good time, and you two end up not only getting everything correct and winning, I don't know how, since you two seem to be both denser than Tanaka." He crossed his arms and slumped forward, slowly walking toward the stairs. "The prizes are yours. You can take them from the pedestal. I'm going to lie down in the teacher's lounge and mope." Damn right, we won. I wasted no time running over and scooping up my figurine, word vomit already babbling forth as I gushed over the prize. Kachan approached the pedestal a lot slower, picking up the box and giving it a once-over. The audience started to clear away dejectingly. "I can't believe we won!" I beamed at Kachan excitedly. "Thank you for entering the contest with me, Kachan." I ruffled his head and grinned triumphantly. Obviously, we're going to win. Those losers took off with their tail between their legs. "Yeah, we make a really great team." I smiled lovingly down at the action figure cradled in my hand as a sentiment warmed my heart, completely missing the way Kachan's eyes stayed pinned on my face in surprise, a small blush dusting the tip of his ears. Ooh. Speaking of, if you're up for it later, I broke Deku out of his figurine enchantment. I want to try and create some moves that would work in a tandem attack. I stared at him nervously. Would you be up for that? I looked happier than when I picked up the figurine. Kachan, I would love to. Thanks for watching. I hope you had a good time. Yeah, off. You think they have an All Might figurine like that? I don't know, I keep thinking about it. You wanna go look for it? Yeah, let's go.